Alright group, let's finish up with tutorial 4 by doing session 4.2, which is the report displayed in print preview section. And the first tool we're going to use is we're going to start the report wizard and select fields to include in the report. So we're going to go ahead and close what we were working on in the Chatham database and open it back up, and we're going to go to the report wizard and create a new report. Great, now that you have your database open back up, let's go to the Create tab, go to the Reports group, and we're going to go up here to the Reports Wizard button and click that, and our Report Wizard dialog box is going to open up. We're going to click the Tables Queries arrow. As with most of these wizards, you can see you always have that section to be able to select your tables or queries. And we are going to select our patient table again. We're going to click patient ID, which is already selected for us. We're going to add that as a selected field. And we are going to repeat that same step, and we're going to include the first name, last name, city, and birth date fields. Now those have been added to our report. We're going to switch tables. We're going to pick the visit table. And now those fields from that table are now present as available. Let's go ahead and move all of those fields into our selected fields. You see that they went underneath the birth date. And we've chosen not to select the visit.patient.id field again, so we're going to remove that. Click it, then send it back on over to an available field. Let's go ahead and click the Next button in our Report Wizard dialog box. Now we're going to go ahead and finish creating the report using the Report Wizard by clicking Next. This report really doesn't require any further grouping levels, so we'll just accept the default options and move on to the next selection in our Report Wizard. Alright, now in our Report Wizard dialog box, we can choose the sort order for our detailed records. And we are going to click the arrow. We're going to select Visit Date. And then we are going to choose Next. So our visit date information from the table will be sorted in an ascending order. Now we're going to choose a layout and page orientation for our report. Just to kind of examine how each sample appears, you can choose them and see how that changes there on the left, just to see the different views of the layouts that can occur from this report wizard. We're going to go ahead and keep outline. We're going to click Next. We're going to change the title for our report to Patients and Visits. We're going to keep our naming convention consistent here. Capital A and capital V, no spaces. Now that we've renamed that, let's go ahead and hit Finish. Now as you can see, our report has been opened in the print preview form, and you can see we have our box that we just used a few moments ago to close our print preview. So we have those options here. Plus you can select, scroll around and see how it all looks before you finalize it. One feature here is you have the zoom feature up here, so you can change the way that it is displayed in print preview. You can click the fit to window. You can click while you're in there to zoom in or zoom out. the bottom of the window, let's click the next page. As you can see, we have the same navigation buttons that we have in the other aspects of Microsoft Access. See how all that data is presented to us. Another aspect that I want you to see is that you have shading applied in our report so that distinguishes between one patient record to the next. Just that real light shading. The last feature here is, if you notice at the bottom of your report, we have the date and how many pages and what page we're on listed at the bottom of our report. So we'll just go ahead and go back, use our navigation buttons, go back to our very first record, and scroll up, and there we go, we are back where we started. Now we're going to modify our report design in our layout view. Here in the text, we are here. We're going to apply a slice theme to our report. Alright, we're back to our database. And on the stats bar, we're going to click out on the layout view once we close our print preview. Change our view, go to layout. Now the report is being displayed in our layout view. We're going to go to the themes group on the design tab. Here are themes. We're going to click the themes button there. And we're going to see different themes that are available for us. You can see how you hover over them, the name of the theme will come up. And there's the slice theme. We're going to right click that, and we are going to select apply theme to this object only. That's the second option. Let's go ahead and click that. The gallery closes and the theme is applied to this report that we created. We're going to go ahead and click the patient and visit section there. We're going to kind of drag that, make it all visible. There we go. Now we can see our patients and visits. Now we're going to clean it up a little bit, and we're going to separate the words by putting in some spaces between the T and the A. Between the D and the V. And we're going to change our capital A here to a lowercase. Now the title has been changed to Patients and Visits, and we have created some spaces, and we have made it more of a sentence type structure for a proper title. Alright, now let's go into where we can change the alignment of some field values. Here are the steps that we're going to go through to complete that. Let's go ahead and click the Format tab. In our report, let's click on the birth date field value. You can see that contains the September 28, 1994 value. And it's outlined in orange, so we know that is our active field. Now that we've selected that, let's go up to our font group on the Format tab. There's our font group. And we are going to click the Align Left button. Align line left. As you can see, all the date of birth field values have all been changed as they are now left aligned. And just to see the difference, we can select center here, and you will see how both of these are affected. To the right, and now we'll go back and select left aligned. Now that we've completed that, the next thing we're going to do is move and resize some fields on our report. Here's the steps we're going to select there on page 214. Let's go ahead and resize the Walkin field label here. Let's go ahead and select that. Once again, all instances of the label are selected throughout the report. You can see them by the light shaded box around them once I select Walkin. Alright, we are going to use our left arrow key, and we are going to move it until the label is centered pretty much over its checkbox. Just one more to the right there. That looks pretty centered. So now that Walkin label box has been properly aligned. And, you know, as always, we want to be able to see all the text. So let's go ahead and select our box again. See our double arrow there. Double click. Now we've got our best fit in place. Now that we've moved and resized our Walkin field label, we are going to move on to the next section, which is to move the visit date field label and field value box. After we make these changes here, we will once again save our database so that we don't lose any of the information that we've changed thus far. Switch back to our database. Let's go to our data visit field label and select that. And once again, you can see that the other instances have been selected as well, as they have that lightly shaded box around them. Press and hold the Shift key, and then we are going to also select the value box for our data visit to select that as well. Now both boxes are highlighted as they are both tied together and active now. We're going to press our left arrow key 4 times to move the field label and field value box to the left. Now that we've moved that 4 times, let's go ahead and save our database. And at the top of our report, let's click to the right of the report title in the shaded area to deselect both those fields. There we go. Let's check back on our book, and we are going to go to the next section, which is changing the title font color and inserting a picture in our report. Here's some of the steps we're going to start with now, just to change the color of the report title and insert the picture. As you can see here, we're going to be using the medical file picture that we have in our tutorial folder from our student data files. So let's get back to our database. Alright, we've already got our patients and visits title selected. Let's make sure the format tab is still active, and it is. And on the font group, let's go to our font color arrow and click the following. Find the black text 1 lighter 25% color box, which is in our roughly our 4th row, 2nd box in our theme colors. There we have our black text 1 lighter 25%. Let's go ahead and click that. Now we've got our color that we want there. Now let's go ahead and insert our picture to the right of the report title text. Let's go into our design tab. Let's go to header footer group again, logo, select our medical, so we've used it once before, hit OK. Now let's go ahead and move this to the right again. Alright, so it looks like it's a pretty good spot. Now we have inserted that picture. Now we'll move to the last section of our tutorial, which is using conditional formatting in a report. And we are going to apply conditional formatting in the birth date field in our report. Let's go back to our database to apply these changes. Once again, let's check to make sure that we are still in the layout view here. Go to our views, layout view. Yes, no changes, we're still in the layout view. Let's go to the format tab on our ribbon, click it, make it active. Now we have a control formatting group here that we're going to be using. And where we're going to be using that is in our birth date field. So let's click the first birth date field value of 2/28/94 for patient ID 22500. Alright, we've selected that. Now let's go into our conditional formatting. Click the conditional formatting button. And we'll see our conditional formatting rules manager dialog box pop open. Let's click new rule. Now you see we have the new formatting rule dialog box that just opened up, and this should match your figure 4-25 in the text. And that one right there. So you see we have two different rule types, and the one that we want is to check the values in the current record or use an expression. So let's go down and click the arrow box containing the word between. And we want to click greater than. Right now we've got greater than selected. We're going to go into the next box. We're going to type 1997. Now we've put that criteria in. Now in the preview section, click the font color arrow, and let's click the color for dark red. In the preview section, let's also click the bold button. And now our conditional formatting selection has been set. We're completed. And now we can click the OK button. Before we do that, let's go any field value that is greater than January 1st, 1997. We want to be bold and with the font color of dark red. Let's go ahead and click OK. Now let's examine this. The new rule we specified appears in the rules section of the dialog box. And that should values greater than January 1st, 1997. Format section on the right shows that the conditional formatting is dark red, bold font. This will be applied based on the rule. Let's go ahead and click OK again. And the conditional format is applied to the birth date field values. So let's switch to the print preview and look at our changes that we made. So let's go down here to our status bar. Sorry about that. And let's click our print preview. And let's scroll through some of these. Let's move to page 2. And there we have some conditional formatting that was applied. So as you scroll through these, you'll see that any of the conditions where the date of birth was greater than January 1st, 1997, our conditional formatting has been applied. Now the next section has us printing, which obviously we're not going to do at this time. Here we go. But just like we did before, we just go into our print preview, go to the print button, print dialog box comes up, and we can say what pages we want. If we want all the pages in our report to print, we want selected records to print, whatever the case may be. Select our printer. If there's any properties we need to change, we can click OK. We're not going to do that, so let's just go ahead and close that. Let's close our print preview. Let's save our database again. Let's close the patients and visits report. Open up our navigation pane, and there you can see that our patients and visits report is present. Good work, guys, and using all this information, you can move on to do your cases. Have a great week.